Wise Wrestling, Miss Gemma Cross, joining me right now. How's it going?
Hi, what's going on?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for being on. Truly appreciate it.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So last week you was part of the debut show for Wise Wrestling.
Yeah.
I've been hearing so much about it, so much buzz. And now that you had a chance to be there, how did you feel about the show overall? How did you feel about your match? What was the whole experience like?
So basically, first of all, I'm kind of sick, so if I sound a little nasally, I apologize in advance. Just getting over this cold. So yeah, last week, exactly a week from today, we went to Chicago, did a seminar, 2 hours with Soraya Knight, learned great stuff from both. Definitely things I like to learn and use in the future. That was fun. And then the show followed right after. Found out that each girl from the seminar had a spot on the show, which was a shock. I found out I was in a Rumble, which was my first ever Rumble. So that was fun. I was actually the third entrant, which is, the first entrant after the two who, I guess, start off. And, it was my first one, so, I feel like it could have gone better, but, I did my best, and I got eliminated later on, and that was really it. I didn't see most of the show, but overall, I've heard lots of great things. I know there was a lot of great, talented women there, so I know they killed it. I actually got to see a glimpse of the last match, and that was great. I saw a lot of great, things going on there, and the new champion was crowned, and it was really cool. So I had a great time.
Yeah, I definitely been hearing a lot of good things about it. Great reviews, and the crowd, from what I've heard, was very satisfied with the debut show for Wise, and it's gonna definitely live up to this name. It's gonna definitely be on the rise, no pun intended.
Mhm.
So now for you in particular, what got you started into becoming a wrestler?
I've always loved wrestling. When I was a kid, I started watching about, 7, 8 years old. I remember I had an ECW game from Nintendo 64, and I didn't even know wrestling was like on TV at the time, so I was just playing the game and whatever. Then flipping through channels, I saw wrestling on TV, and I couldn't believe it was like actually on TV, and there was actual people that were, the characters from the game. So that's how I started watching wrestling, and I was just hooked from day one. It was just so awesome. I loved all the action. I loved all the characters. I loved everyone. It was so freaking. It was the greatest time to watch. Undertaker, John Cena's debut, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, all the greats. So I was hooked from day one. So it was pretty much a video game kind of got me started, but I just watched it every week. But it was only SmackDown because I didn't have, so I just had basic TV, and it was just SmackDown for me. But I loved it. It was great.
Speaking of SmackDown, they recently celebrated a milestone this past Tuesday, episode number 900.
Yes.
It was on August 26, 1999.
Wow.
The main event of that show, I should say, that would be Triple H versus the WWE Championship. Shawn Michaels was the referee. And what I remember the most about that match is when The Rock was going for the People's Elbow, only to get hit with a sweet chin music from Mr. Michaels.
Wow.
So many memories, and that definitely makes me feel old now that I think about it. But anyway, favorite SmackDown moment?
I actually didn't watch SmackDown till I think 2000 or 2001, so I was in first or second grade. I can't really remember, or maybe kindergarten. I can't really remember, but I loved Undertaker. He was my favorite. I loved Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, he was a really good heel, JBL, he was a really good heel. My greatest moment for SmackDown, jeez. I remember, if I'm not mistaken, I definitely remember, what was I going to say, when I believe Taker chokeslammed Angle from, like, some, like, really high spot, and he, like, you know, it was like his head was busted open. I think that was Taker and Angle. But I remember that was that spot. I remember Brock Lesnar superplexing Big Show into the ring, and that collapse. That was the one moment I'll never forget. It was just so crazy to watch. I can't remember everything on the top of my head, but I mean, I everything about it. So there was a lot of great moments. I just can't recall every single one, but those two I specifically remember the most.
I definitely remember when Wano gave Jericho the spear and right into the entrance area, and that was so awesome. And yeah, I definitely remember Lesnar and Show the superplex, and Taz dropped the S-bomb, and UPN, I guess they were on at the time, had to bleep it.
Yeah.
It was probably a good thing that it was taped at the time because I mean they probably could have edited it anyway, but you know the reaction of Taz says it, to pull that suplex off on a 500-pound man, that was just crazy, and
Yeah,
it was
totally.
just crazy for sure. Now, were there any wrestlers in particular, whether it's male or female, pro or indies, that inspire you to become a wrestler?
I mean, I'm a fan of a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. So, like, I always have, like, a top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for me, there's not really one specific person who inspired me. It's, like, different people inspire different parts of, you know, what I want to be as a wrestler. I remember, alright, so I took a break watching wrestling because, a lot of, like, personal issues going on in my life. So I wasn't really able to watch from, like, 2005 to, I want to say 2010. But I remember, what point was it getting with this? Fire, okay. So I started watching wrestling again, and I remember seeing Cody Rhodes come up and coming, and his gimmick really inspired me. He was so good at it, and even his mask gimmick, that was really good, and that really drew me in. And so, like, you know, his character and everything like that, his in-ring skills definitely inspired me. Rollins inspires me. I love how, I love his moveset. I love his character. You know, he's really awesome. He inspires me. AJ Lee inspires me. You know, young girl from Jersey like me. You know, small, but she, you know, she'll kick anyone's ass. That's inspiring for inspiration. But, I mean, you know, Jericho, he's inspiring, you know, always changing it up for the past 20 years. That's inspiring, and he's really good, and he's, like, one of my favorites, so definitely him. You know, there's so many people.
Gotta say about Jericho in particular, he looks like he's having a lot of fun these days with his current gimmick. It's like, granted, he's not the quote-unquote top guy anymore, but he just looks like he's just having a ball. You know, to be with the current Universal Champion in Kevin Owens, who's established in his own right, you know, but Jericho's established on the WWE level. He knows what it's like a lot longer than Owens per se, and for to be like a mentor to him, just to, you know, to go through everything is it's pretty cool. And he's just putting everyone on the list left and right. That list is long. Jericho's been putting people on the list since WCW. He had that 100 move list or whatever. And he can go on and on and on. Like he's one of the all-time greats, and like you said, he always switches it up, always, you know, keeping up with what's current and everything. And he's, you know, not settling for whatever. He's Chris Jericho, for crying out loud. He's pretty cool.
I know. I love him. He's so good. I mean, seriously, like, how inspiring is that, though? Like you're doing this for 20 years, and you can always come out and be interesting and still be, like, coming, and you're, like, super serious, and then, down the line you become, like, you enjoy what you're doing, and you change it up, and you're still entertaining and stuff. I love that. So, yeah, he's, like, one of my favorites. Like, I pop for everything he does. Like, he's so good.
So, what do you consider the biggest highlight of your wrestling career thus far? That one moment that stands out that you are most proud of?
I mean, I'm up and coming right now, I would say. I've been, training for about 2 years, and I've had I have had to take some time off for personal reasons, but, so I haven't really, gone out there as much as I would like, but, I mean, I'm starting to build it up right now, so don't get me wrong. Like, I'm definitely doing my thing, and I'm definitely going to show everyone by next year, who Gemma Cross is. One of my highlights so far, I mean, I would say wrestling my boyfriend in West Virginia. That was cool. We put on a really good match, and I felt good about it. So that was fun. Had a lot of great opponents that I'm working with. I've worked with Sammy Pandora, Allison Jade. And, upcoming this Saturday, I'm going to work with Sienna Duval for her title. So that's pretty much a highlight. I mean, I never had a title shot match, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Town, PA, and I'm actually going to wrestle Sammy Pandora again, so we'll have another killer, and I'm really excited about that. I'll be working with Vanity by the end of this year. She's one of my good friends, so I'm really looking forward to working with her, and, I mean, I'm ending 2016 with a bang, so I'm really looking forward to, what's to come for 2017. I would say working with Rise, wrestling in Chicago, Illinois, that was definitely a highlight of mine. So, I mean, just working up slowly, but, slowly but surely I'm getting out there and I'm doing the thing, and hopefully, you all know the name Gemma Cross.
So, for you definitely making a name for yourself, obviously, and to be at Rise on this first show, that's definitely a big deal, considering
Yeah.
this is a company that wants to make its rounds in the women's wrestling industry, and they off to a real good start, obviously because they booked you. I'll just put that out
Right.
there.
Thank you.
So, 2017. What are some of the goals you would like to accomplish? More traveling, more rivalries to build, networking. I mean, what's some goals you want to set for yourself in 2017?
It's funny. I actually sat down and thought about some of the things I want to do for 2017. Didn't exactly write them down, but I had a few thoughts. I would like to definitely establish myself more in my character. I would like to have more rivalries, definitely get better at my craft, work harder, train harder. I would say travel more, but in the sense of, where it makes sense, I guess. If I'm able, because the East Coast is pretty hot right now, so if I'm able to stay local and, kill it over here for now, that's fine. Definitely want to travel more, when that time comes. Traveling to Chicago was a big deal because it was far, and it was my first time traveling that far, so that was cool. I know Rise is going to be going around, so hopefully going back to Rise next year. Hopefully, debuting in companies like Shimmer, that'd be a big deal for me. Just trying to kill it, man. I'm just trying to get my name out there and just kill it at the same time and show people what I can do, and I'm confident that I can do it. So I just want to show everyone who Gemma Cross is and, what she's able to do and, kill it and represent the East Coast. Pretty much it.
So earlier you mentioned AJ Lee, who's also a New Jersey girl, and she was at WSU, she was at the Indies before coming to NXT, and then WWE, and went on to become one of the popular names in the WWE for a few years. She pretty much carried the division on her back, and then
Mhm.
injuries came along, and then other things came along. Um, what's it like to see someone like a AJ Lee from your neck of the woods, not necessarily the tallest or strongest person per se, but someone made a name for herself and went on to become one of the big names for a big name company at the time?
I think she's very real. I think she is very relatable, and I think that the way she is and her character was very captivating to people, and it gave everyone a sense of reality and like her sassiness, her being small and feisty. I think those are things people really like. So I think that definitely made her a star. I think that she was the start of the women's revolution, whether people admit it. I think she had the crowd every time she went out there. Like she was so, huge, and I think she was a star, and I think she was really good. She is really good in the ring, and she's good at being crazy, her crazy chick gimmick, all that. So I think the crowd really believed in her, and she was a real wrestler. She can do it all, and I think that was, what made AJ Lee the best. So I really enjoyed her work while she was wrestling. Definitely can't wait to read her book because, I think it'd be really interesting to read and, know where she came from and, because I know she went through struggles as it will be in the book, and I definitely want to see what it's about. So I just want to see what inspired her and, what made her, her. So I think that'd be really cool.
There is a part of me that wants to see her come back to the WWE one day, considering the way that this quote-unquote women's revolution is, where it's at right now, and
Yeah.
and just to see how she would mix up with a Charlotte or a Becky or a Bailey or a Sasha, etc. I mean, they were like those ladies were just started on NXT by the time AJ blew up, and they never got a chance to cross paths per se. So, you know, it will be interesting to see her come back, even if it's a one-time appearance or whatever. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if she in WWE are in good say, but I mean, you never know. WWE does have a tendency to bring people back when they haven't seen eye to eye with people from time to time. But now, I think you've already mentioned some of your upcoming shows. But to get back to it, you got any other shows you got coming up for the remainder of the year?
These are the end of the year. Well, all right. Like I mentioned before, I'll go through it again. This Saturday, I will be at Triple WA wrestling Sienna Duval for her title. And December 9th, I head to New Jersey, and I will be wrestling Vanity there for SWF. On the 10th of December, I will be wrestling Sammy Pandora Part 2. And I believe the 17th I have something going on, but I'm not quite sure yet because it hasn't been confirmed. But I don't know about that date, but that's what I have going on right now. And looking forward to the start of 2017. And, going on from there. Really, ending this year with a bang.
And before I let you go, why don't you let people know your social media links where people can get in touch with you and how can they contact you for future shows?
You can contact me, Twitter at the Gemma Cross, Instagram at the Gemma Cross, and Facebook I am, it's my personal Facebook page, but it's Laura Marco. That's me. I'm Gemma Cross, so same person. You can all contact me through there, and, I'll be looking forward to hearing from you guys.
It was great chatting with you, and I want to thank you for being a trooper joining me for nearly 20 minutes. I know you are you are under the weather, but I appreciate you still managed to come through. And thank you again for your time. Continued success, and please get well soon. Hopefully one day we'll cross paths. For sure.
Definitely.
And you have a great night. Have a great weekend and a happy Thanksgiving coming up as well.
Thank you. You too. Happy Thanksgiving. Nice talking to you.
Great chatting with you as well. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
That was Gemma Cross.